Right, microphone is working. Okay. What that means is that when you see your team, because you're in an anchor type of position, a support type of position in Watson, right?
Yeah.
It does mean you can still be entry, like I said with Lucio. Lucio's are entries, but not always. Lucio's position is essentially when you are a tree man, so to say, you are always aware of the fundamental understanding of your surroundings. So that means that there is a kill feed in this area, right?
Yeah.
That means you need to understand what team has dropped here, what team has dropped here, what team has dropped there, what team drops here, here, etc., right? That means
Mm.
if you see kills, that means you know which team is killing because the names. If you see KCP is wiped out, who is KCP? Okay, Pioneers is got boom, problem solved. Pioneers drops wall. You now know there is no Pioneers involved, but there is another team, and that team could potentially go here and here, right?
Yeah.
That means for resources, that is already something that you start thinking about. So the moment the game starts is when it starts. Momentum starts right away. So kill feed is one thing. Kill feed. Okay, it just gives you information on what's going on in the game. Throughout the entire game, you will have information. That means you need to mentally think about this isn't just mechanics, this is pure game sense about which teams are around me, which teams are a threat, which teams have resources. Because if there's a lot of fight spin here, right? Whatever team comes out on top in this area will come here with one hell of a resource. Just instantly, you will know that, right?
Yes.
So that is already like a danger. So that means if your team, because your team isn't going to think about this. I will not teach this to Faye. I will not teach this to Savage. They will not think about this at all. That
Yeah.
means with info, so like I don't have to write this down. You already have the steps. So that comes down to with information is the first step for you then. Just understanding, okay, what teams are here, what comps are they running, what dangers are their inabilities, so overall understanding of the composition, and then also like where are they and what stage of the ring we're in. So essentially all of these questions is something that you're going to ask yourself the entire game. The only addition you do to that is something like this. Can you see that, or is it the color too bright?
I see it. I see it.
Okay. So that is step one, so to say. Just understanding the kill feed and having an idea of the teams around you and knowing which team is eliminated. If you make mistakes here, that's fine. That's how you learn, right?
Yeah.
So don't worry about making mistakes. Like just focus on, okay, these are the teams, these are the kill feeds. We try this in scrims, and eventually next Sunday, we're not gonna do this next Sunday. I want to make that very clear because it's too much. And like I said, in the tournament, we work on the simple things. 1 week is not enough for you to master this. Period. So this is for scrims.
Okay.
So don't think about this in tournament. So the kill feed is one thing, and it goes into information, right?
Mm.
So you have information. That now means, from what we started with the CV truck, is understanding this entire section, because you want to know, okay, how much threat should we do? How much timing is there in between everything, and what opportunities are there, so that when Savage identifies, for example, that we can fight here from here, and Savage makes the call, you already know, okay, there's team here, team here, team here, something like that, right? And you also kind of have an idea of, okay, so these guys have resources, these guys probably don't. This is now very simple. I already coached you this. That's not an N. This is now third-party RNG, right?
Mm.
Instantly know that. That means when Savage makes this call, he has identified an opportunity within the third-party RNG. That means you are going to commit, but it also means in the momentum that you are always the last person to enter the fight. Because Falk goes first, followed by Faye, on Seer in this environment, followed by you.
Okay.
Reason for that is very simple. This is a direct engage where Faye has identified the momentum to engage on a team with all the steps checked out. So that means we have resources, we have timing, and we can take care of this fight, but we do need to make sure that, okay, whatever comes from here is a threat. That means that the moment we are in there, you need to start a mental stopwatch. That's what I'm gonna call it. On the stopwatch, what I mean with that is essentially there's a timer. There's so much time before you can expect a third party to pop in. That means you are fully committed to this fight, fully committed to finishing it, but having a mental understanding. This is not IGL, this is not communication. Like I said, this is just mental. Mental understanding, okay, so from now on, what needs to happen as we go into this fight? And how much time do we have left? Timing is a subsection of this, obviously, right? So timing, like, it's quite simple, step 2, right?
Yeah.
It does mean if Faye doesn't make a backup plan, or Savage is not aware of how much time we have, we are gonna die as a team. That's not a problem. Like in the end, it's Savage's call to make, right? But there needs to be a backup plan, and we need to be able to survive. That means that in this entire fight, somewhere in the communication line, you need to start speaking up a very simple thing. We don't have time. Or no time.
Like, you mean before the fight? Like
No,
when
no,
he
in the
suggests to
fight.
push, or in the fight? Okay.
In the fight. Like it's a stopwatch, eventually you will know, okay, there's no time. And then you say, no time. And what that means is very simple. It means that from now on, we're on a very, very small rope. And that rope can snap at any time. And we need to make sure that when this communication is called, we're essentially going all in. Because we are not retreating from this. There is no way we can't get out. Unless we can. And that is then something that Faye needs to think about. But he is not even in Europe right now, so I can't tell him this. But Faye needs to think about retreat routes. And it's already here, but we'll get there eventually one day. That is then the only option. But in momentum, when we take a fight like this, you essentially start thinking about the important things, which is okay, what teams are here, who is going to third party us, which time is there, with the sound cues that we're giving, which teams will respond to that, which teams are aggressive. So for example, if you know that MP is here, they are going to fucking come for us.
Okay. So, is it also working if, for example, Savage suggests to push them, and like I say yes, but like we have to send it because like
There's no time.
parties.
There's no time. When
Like,
Savage goes,
right?
we go. Yeah, we go. When Savage goes, we go. Like you can't stop him.
But I'm mostly like I'm talking about like imagine he's not like really like saying that we push. He's asking if we want to push, and I say
Oh,
yeah,
like
we
that.
can, but we have to do it fast.
Then
That's to be clean.
you just say, for example, if you know which teams are here, you just say if this is MP, you instantly just say, okay, but Aurora is in command center, they can come for us. And that should be enough information because everyone in Europe knows how MP plays. In fact, we have experienced how MP plays. Where is it? Not this map. Not this map.
Or the one in Jurassic.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that we know, right? Not this one. It's the next one. Round 3, right? Yeah. So this one, right? You know how MP plays, and this is also why you need to know all of this. Essentially, you're the guy with knowledge, the smart guy, the older person, right? Like, this is also why Captain Responsibility. The problem here, like I've gone into detail with Savage on this entire fight. There was a lot of problems, but the problem here for first is information, right? Like Savage is in charge of information for himself whenever he makes these decisions. He needs to have checkmarked all of this. So if he's missing that and he says he's looking for that, all you need to do is make sure information, like make a flashcard. Do we have information? That is what you're here for, right? You are the person that gives us the dialogue. So all of this dialogue needs to have answers if we're not doing something, right? Like if Savage goes, go, boom, we're going. There is no dialogue, there's no nothing. Savage has identified something, we're fucking sending it, and then the only thing you need to think about is the stopwatch. Simple as that, right?
Yeah.
So in this environment, the stopwatch goes off the moment we push. That means you now know that MP is over here. What does that mean for us?
They will look for us if we push.
Yeah, they are the team that pushes. They push harder than Element 6 does. Like they are true to their name.
I'm gonna be honest, they actually took time to push this to third party.
Yeah, that is
They
true.
actually took a long time.
Yeah, that is true. They are actually slower than expected, so to say. But I also think because there's some sound cues going off in this area, so they might be doing two things at the same time before they go, right?
Yeah.
And that is also like an additional momentum thingy, that if you know that there is something going on in an area, MP won't go right away, but they're still going. But not right away. So that it gives you a small window of opportunity, right? And that is a window of opportunity that Server needs to identify. This is why I say just be behind, because you're in Narya too much. But it's okay, like, it is what it is. But
it was just about the timing. Like I felt that we were just too far, and
mm-hmm.
I know I shouldn't do it. I knew from the start I shouldn't do it, but
yeah. But I want in the future, I want you just in momentum. I want you to just think about your position in comparison to the other two.
Yeah, that's something I need to work on, because when I tend to be frustrated when something that should happen, in my opinion, is not happening, and I tend to just still go for what I want.
Yeah, but
get the timing. Yeah. I know I should not, but
in momentum, what I'm teaching you, I want you to always be the person, because Lucio is a hero. If bruh, Lucio is a hero. That if you this is Lucio, let's say it's Lucio, he has a circle around him, right?
Yeah.
And teammates always need to be in that circle, otherwise they don't get his buff. That is how Lucio works. He has a circle around him where people need to be in, otherwise his healing buff or speed buff does not go into them. The advantage of Overwatch is that he sees a number in front of his screen of how many people are in the circle. So if he's missing people, he will know that instantly. You don't have that circle. So you need to mentally think about, this is why momentum is so important, but where are my teammates? So in this environment, like when it comes to moments like this, like what I want to do starting when FaZe back is actually have like a group session where we talk about certain fights, so that everyone is like, okay, but this, right? Right now everything's isolated. There are one-on-ones, but that's just the way it is right now. Like eventually I want to just sit down and have the entire team here, and then we just focus on, okay, for example, this fight, and you were to be, like, say you're in the bridge, right? But you identified this situation and you just waited. Then we can talk about, okay, why did we not see this window of opportunity? Why did it take us so long? It's very simple, right?
Yeah.
Main reason is this person, but that is okay. Like we don't focus on that. Like we focus always on next. Go GG, go next. So here, like in this environment, what should happen is essentially you are always with your team. You're always clearing up, because the main thing here is that if you're still like a little bit behind, you can pay attention to a potential aggression from MP. And if you see them move out right away, what does that mean for the team?
A threat, no time.
Yeah, no time. So the communication is going to be added once FaZe back is no time. We're not doing that for next week, but it is something we're going to add, essentially, that when you call no time, FaZe needs to instantly identify, okay, abandon, like we are aborting this push. What that means is that there's still potential, because MP will not recognize that. Like something that we're doing now is completely intelligence, right? So if MP still pushes, what does that mean for us?
If we are retreating, you mean?
Yes. Let's say we are not...
Another third party possibility?
Exactly. This is why I call it fight IQ, because IQ is intelligence. And that's also why I call it game sense, because this is just understanding what's going on in the game and how to move the game towards your advantage. And that's why I call it momentum theory. It's very, very complex, because you need to have an idea of the teams, first of all, how they play, their play style in general, because there are teams out there like what's a stupid team that doesn't push no matter what? IG, like IG. they just sit. They don't.
I mean, it depends, no?
Yeah, sure, it still depends, but in this push, they are only committing once they have guaranteed information that there is a fighting going inside.
Yeah.
But if we're just shooting outside and they don't have guaranteed information, they're just gonna sit. That is, we're also updating this document every single time, by the way. So, like, you don't have to think about this. Like, as a coach, I'm responsible for making sure this information is accurate. So that means if there's information there that is not accurate, you can tell me, and then I change it. But that is essentially for the team, right? Like, all the teams, we have an idea of how they function. If they suddenly change their playstyle, fuck. But it is what it is then, right? So here, like, fence went down. Here, the main thing that we need to identify is also resources. And this is, again, human psychology. So when we're talking about this is, again, a momentum thingy, but then from the enemy. Because if you throw a grenade in the corner, where will a human being move to?
You mean the left side?
Yes.
When you move, like, you will move to the closest cover, to the door, or to push us, depending, like, it depends, like, how close he is to us.
Yeah. So there was a person down here, and he was sitting over here. If we're taking our time, which is important, this is what I'm telling Savage, is that if we are calm and we just throw a grenade over here, there's only...
It goes to the left, yeah. I mean to the right, yeah.
Yeah, he goes, there's two possibilities. He goes here, or he goes out of the window, door, and he just pieces the fuck out.
Yeah.
Either way, that gives us enough time to clean up very fast, because we know for a fact that there is one person in this corner and another person with a shield, and that should be clean up for us, and then we can stabilize, like, in a room, right? So if we were to play this fight out, because this fence is complete bullshit for him. Like, yeah, fences. But here, if we just, before this push, right, from here on, stand still, throw the grenade, because he has 3 fucking arcs.
Yep.
You throw that grenade in the corner, and then you calmly go to this corner as a team. You only need to clean him up, and then you could stabilize in that room over there. Simple as that.
Yeah.
That is all that had to be done in this specific momentum. It's timing-wise, it's extremely fast. Resource-wise, it's only like 1 or 2 grenades. And as a team, we go in as a unit. Savage is first because he's entry. In this case, like, I think DG was just on time. Yeah, DG was just on time. Like, this is how I want to see it, right? We throw a grenade and we go. We deny this space. So space is denied. And we know for a fact he goes either there or to the door.
Yeah.
And then we clean up, and then we set up here, and that's just an easy way of cleaning. And then we have a stabilized point, and we're fine. We now know for momentum that here. So this is for you for no time. So once I have spoken to Phoenix, once he's fully home, we're just going to start implementing that.
Okay.
But for communication, so like moments like this, you focus on like, okay, I am the Lucio. This is my circle. Just think about it mentally. And as long as my teammates are in the circle, I'm doing a good job. The Lucio circle is like 10 meters or something. So like, like this. And it's not communication. This is game sense, where you are mentally aware, where are my teammates? What is the thing that my teammates are looking for? And for the rest, it's just, okay, what I just spoke about, right? The teams and information and all of that. Like, essentially, you're focusing purely on this, and then you're focusing on this. And then this is on Phoenix, this is on Phoenix, this is on Savage, and this is on everyone. But mostly on Phoenix, and, well, perimeter establishing is on you, right? On Watson. So like everything gets cleanly divided, so to say.
Yeah.
Because it's important with the cognitive load that I explained, right? That everyone kind of has like their own job that also works together. So everyone also has an idea of, okay, I don't have to think about what my teammate is thinking, because I already know what they're thinking, because we have a coach that tells them what to think. So this is what I tell Savage to think about. So this, and this is for all 3 of you. So you know that Savage is always looking, okay, I'm looking for a window of opportunity, and I'm looking for information, and I am looking for all of this, except for step 4. Step 4 is not his problem. Step 4 is a phase problem, and by that also automatically your problem, because in this is where this comes into play, right?
Yeah.
And then eventually, like if we were to push,
So,
go on.
should I also communicate about the possible like retreat route
No,
if you don't have time?
no, that is
So
fully
I
unfair.
just say no time and I shut the fuck up.
Yes,
Okay.
because that means that from the moment you say no time, you can start focusing on your surroundings again. That means Faye is now gonna think about, okay, where the fuck do we run to? And it better be fucking fast. And Savage is instantly, okay, if everything goes south, I will die. But that's okay. We messed up, I will die, my team will get the fuck out. That is essentially the point of entry, right? Entry is just there and like that for the... He dies for the team in that environment. He becomes a scapegoat and that's okay. Like in an environment like that, it is what it is. But that is on Savage. If he dies...
Don't you think I should be the one dying for the team?
No, because you shouldn't be on that.
Yeah, but this Valkyrie. Like, we need Valkyrie for the late game.
Yeah, but in that environment, it's too late. Like, there's no way he's getting out. He's not getting out. There's no way. Like, think about this fight, right? There's no way. He's not getting out. He's way too far in. Like, if he saw an opportunity...
This fight was really unlucky because the timings were actually insane.
Yeah. But that's just it, right? Like, there's no way he's getting out when he sees these moments. Like, it's just impossible. Whereas you two, Faye and you, will be in a bit later. Like, you'd still be within the range, right? But he is balls deep, right? Like, all the fucking way. Full chat is in there. He's all in. Whereas you two can still like back him up, give him support, make sure that you're with him, clearing up targets and everything, all like that, right? It also means that from that position, you pay attention to this, right? Yeah. Like, you're still fully committed to this. You're fully mechanically doing everything here. And you're focusing on hitting your shots, obviously. But mentally, you have an idea before this even happened, what the fuck is going on up here. That is what you pay attention to, right?
Did you feel like I was already doing it when you saw, like, when you watched my POV?
From this fight?
Yes.
No.
Okay, that's fun because I did. That's why I'm asking.
Okay.
But that's
maybe too much
maybe
because
the way I do it is not the right way. Then that's why I'm asking because I actively thought about it. So maybe I need to do it in another way.
Yeah, because what I said is you need to fully focus on the fight. You just need to be aware of this environment before you go. Because Savage is balls deep. He's not getting out. Whereas you're not even in the circle. Like Savage is over here and you're over here. This is your circle. You are not together as a team, as a unit. Because this is a committed push, right? That means we need everything that we have to clean this up as fast as possible to make sure that this is all being done. And then eventually, like, we can survive because we had the right amount of time to clean them up, armor swap, and set up perimeter, small things, right? That is then on Faye. This is also why, like, in this environment, if we were to win this fight and there's no problems and we stabilize, you don't have to say anything. Like, no time, that is irrelevant because we cleaned up and we're fine. You just need to start paying attention again. Okay, what teams are now coming? Like, essentially, when we clean up, you start doing this again. Like this, instantly.
Yeah.
So it's everything basically that I've coached you so far is part of momentum. But it's just more deeper understanding of, like, what's going on around me. What is my team? Where is my team? Am I close enough with my team? Am I committed enough with my team? Like, this is all now putting the team first. That is the whole purpose of Lucio. This is also why Lucio's can be entry. Because there are moments where Lucio is all the way in fucking Narnia having a fight with the enemy Widowmaker because he knows he can.
Okay.
That is just how Lucios operate. They do funny stuff sometimes. But that is just pure understanding, okay? Let's just say we have this position, there's a team over here and a team over here and a team in the nut, but the ring is like this and closing counterclockwise, so that means we have a better position and it ends like here. Let's just say. That means instantly, the first thing we spoke about today, it's not even communication, it's just understanding this, and then just making sure that when we're in a position that Faye is thinking properly. So that means, okay, like you have to make sure that Faye, like this is dialogue, right? You do momentum for this. This is the only reason you're doing it for. Just to make sure that you know what the team is thinking, what people are thinking, and then you think about, okay, so what questions need to be answered, and then you're done, right? It's a lot of things. But that is why it's important to understand this. Like when we think about cognitive load, separating these roles is extremely important. When Savage is putting all of his energy purely focusing on winners of opportunity, that means as a team, as long as you trust him, eventually he's going to be one of the best players in the world when it comes to that, right? That means whenever he sees those moments, eventually you don't even have to think about these things anymore, because Savage is just so fucking good that as long as we are good enough mechanically that if we clear it up and this is all done, and then you only have to make sure that Faye is still doing this.
Okay.
He can still fuck up, and that's why we have no time, right? Like that's
And how do we handle a situation where we want to do something and I think we don't have time, but he still wants to do it?
What do you mean?
This will happen. You see an opportunity. It is an opportunity, but we won't be able to take it on time. And it has happened before. Like he still wants to go for it.
This is where we allow him. He needs to learn.
So he has the last word, right, on this?
Yes, like when he makes that call, yeah, like when he makes the call, we are committing. Like we trust Savage, and if he messes up, so to say, that's okay, because now we know, okay, yes, Savage, you messed up, but we know that you are going to learn from this. You're going to know why, because that's also obviously my job, right? Like I'm just gonna make a talk with him, like okay, this is this, so that he fundamentally understands, okay, why was this a bad push? This also, for example, today I'm making him watch AGLS and I'm making him focus on what we spoke about. Like I want him to pay full attention on understanding winners of opportunity. So if you say no time, even in the future, right? If he still says go, 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 we're just going. It's okay. Like, for example, if you are wrong with the no time and we clean up and we win that fight, that's also good.
Yes.
We still trusted Savage. He ended up being right. And you ended up being wrong, and that's perfectly fine, because then we can learn, okay, why were you wrong? These are all learning moments, and the only way you will improve if you accept that you can make mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about like who we are listening to. Like all I want is we agree to listen one guy, like we prioritize one guy calling. Like if it's Savage, like I don't care to be right or wrong. Like we just need to do it together and learn.
Exactly. That's also why I'm putting emphasis on that.
And how is it gonna work between Savage and Faye? Like, is it the same if Faye like is with the push or if he has another play in mind?
It really depends. Like I already spoke about this with Faye a while back, because he is from Paladins, and Paladins also has a lot of momentum. And what he said was that he's very used to this, because in Paladins, like in Navi, he had players that just took over communications in a fight, and he just let it happen, because he trusts his teammate.
But let's say that you disagree.
Then Faye is the boss.
Yeah, that was okay. So Faye has the last word. But
yes.
If last no time and Savage still call it, you just go. Okay.
Yep. Like it's Savage's moment to find, Savage moments to learn, but Faye is the boss.
I'm fine with that.
Yep. And you're just there for dialogue. And don't make a mistake. Dialogue is extremely important, because what you're doing is making sure the other two are thinking correctly. You're making sure the other two are on the same page. You're making sure the other two know what they're looking for. So, for example, if you see that Savage is not thinking about winner's opportunity and he's mentally AFK, you need to wake him up. Like, let's say we're in Not Right, and there are two teams fighting out here, and Savage is just here, sitting, doing nothing.
Yeah, I need to be the one telling him to look for something.
Yeah.
So am I supposed to tell him, like, don't you want to look for something, or like, do you want me to ask questions?
Just ask him keywords. So like, can we third-party RPG this? And if that doesn't trigger him, that's a problem. Okay. Because when we talk about third-party RNG, what do we mean? All of this. that means we're looking for an opportunity. That means that if Savage is sleeping in the corner on a Valk, not looking for opportunities, that's a problem.
Doing his job, yeah.
Yeah. Like it's essentially you wake players up.
Okay.
So it's the same for Faye, right? Faye is always thinking about the ring, for example. You have to help him in ring, Savage as well. Like ring is a team responsibility. If we have 3 people coming to the same conclusion, then we are 99% sure where the ring is going to end. And if we're all 3 of us are wrong, then sure, no problem. We live and we learn. Because the vortex and everything is 80% accurate, right? So there's still a 20% room of error. And that's fine. That's how we learn. That's how we improve. That's how we become better players. So, momentum. Like I'm keeping it simple because it's much more complicated than this, but I'm keeping it simple for this because as a team, we first need to adapt to this, right? And Faye is also not here, that doesn't help. So like dialogue is your main job. And like I said, it's not really communication. You're just mentally thinking about things. You're not vocalizing it. You're just thinking about it. This is just your role in the team. Like you're always thinking about, okay, like what moments are there? Like what are we looking for? What is Savage looking for? What is Faye looking for? And then you're just making sure that in these environments we are on the same plan. So that also means that if Savage calls for a fight, that means that you know what teams are around us. That means you know like what the consequences are from this push. And that means you know like how much time we have for this push to be cleared. And all of that ends with 2 words. No time.
Okay.
That is it. Like it's a lot of thinking, but you only say 2 things in the end. That you should be okay with that, right?
Yeah, if you had me, I said yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like there are players out there who want to do more, but like momentum isn't that much. Like I had Lucio players in Overwatch who were not happy because they wanted to do more. Like no, you're not IGL. Like no, like you don't make the decisions. Like some Lucio players are also very good IGLs. It's just the way it is. But for Monday we are trying to scrim, but I don't know if it goes on because we never scrim on Monday because fucking Pro League scrims. Yeah, we try to, but otherwise on Tuesday and Wednesday you are still IGLing.
Okay.
So, Wednesday Faye comes home.
So what do I need to? What do you want me to focus on then?
What I just said, all of these things, but no communication yet.
Okay.
Like I don't mind if the IGLing is bad. I literally couldn't care less.
I'm playing Sheldon, right? Also Watson.
No, you're still playing Watson. Like the goal for next week is I'm actually gonna stop the recording.